School, Mr. Stewart.
Hi. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, okay. Where were you born?
Well, I was born in Canada, as you can see, my famous Canadian hockey shirt. And I grew up in a small little city in northern Ontario in Canada. So east central Canada, very, very cold. Minus 40 in the winter,
Oh.
but that was at night. In the day it got really warm, about minus 20. Most people would say that I was a pretty crazy kid. But I spent most of my time, any of my spare time outside of school, I was almost always playing sports. So in the winter we played hockey. In the spring and summer, when hockey was finished, we played baseball. And in the fall, we played football. So Canadian-American style football. Yeah. And then we would also play soccer. But those are the four main sports that I played, growing up anyway.
Yeah. How did you become a teacher?
Well, okay, so I went to normal school in Canada, and I went to high school. And then I loved sports, so I went to university and I studied sports science in university. So I went to McMaster University in Hamilton, which is about an hour west of Toronto. And I love sports so much that I continued to play as well. And then I went to Queen's University in Kingston, which is the east side of Toronto, in a city called Kingston. And that's where I went to Teachers College and studied to be a teacher. And my focus was actually sport and sports science and outdoor education. So teaching students about the wilderness and science outside and taking them on trips through the wilderness, on canoes and skis, and having them learn about nature that way as well.
And when did you meet Mrs. Stewart?
Mrs. Stewart. Wow. You're getting personal now. I met Mrs. Stewart when I was a young teacher in a city called Cambridge, Ontario, 1 hour west of Toronto. And she was a little younger than me, and she was a student teacher at my school.
Wow.
In Cambridge, Ontario. That's how we met first. Yeah.
What did you thought of her when you first met her?
She was beautiful.
When was the first time you came to Japan?
First time I came to Japan was 5 years ago, almost now. Five years ago, because that's when I accepted the job. And I was working in Vienna in Austria at that time, at the United Nations School in Austria. And I accepted the job while I was there. I applied, and they had the interviews, and they chose me. And so that's the first time I came. It was about 5 years ago now. And when I came here, I absolutely loved it. And I still love it just as much as before, even.
Do you have any countries? Did you travel anywhere around the world?
Right, that's a good question. Well, first of all, I've worked in, I think, 7 countries now. So in Canada, in England, Macau, which is now part of China, Kyrgyzstan, which is part of the former Soviet Union, Russia, Austria, and Japan. And Singapore. I forgot Singapore. So I think that's 7 countries that I've worked in. But I've also probably traveled now to 60 countries. Yeah.
60 countries.
Wow. About 60. Yeah.
Whoa.
I do love traveling. I love it.
So you have 3
I have,
kids, right?
yeah, 3 kids.
Marika, Thea, and Kia.
Yes.
So what kind of kids are they?
What kind of kids are they? Well, let's see. Let's start with Marika. Marika's quite responsible. She's a wonderful figure skater, and I think that it's really nice for a father who really loves sport to see his own children love sport as well. And Thea is a happy-go-lucky kind of fun kid. She's also a wonderful figure skater, which is nice. And she always tells you what she's thinking. She definitely does not hold back, right? And then Keo, well, he's the boy, and he's only 5 years old, and I think most people who know Keo would say that he's pretty crazy. And he loves hockey, and he loves skating. So really the whole family spends a lot of time at Ice Rink Sendai, because every one of us play hockey or skate or do something with the ice.
Okay, one last question.
Yes.
What kind of like school you want TIS to be like more like responsible and those kind of stuff.
Well, I guess the thing that makes TIS the best school I can think of anywhere is its students and the really creative, fun things they do. B-Bye is behind the camera over there filming, and you guys are interviewing, and I think you're doing a wonderful job, and I believe that the students make the school.
Okay, thank you very much for your precious time.
Thank you. It's a pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, so that was it for our TIV for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.